Hello class, in this video I'm going to teach you the final subtopic for chapter 1, which is rusting, pengaratan. So what you are going to learn are describe metal corrosion, kakisan logam sebagai proses redox. You need to describe this process as a redox reaction. You need to describe which part undergo oxidation and which part undergo reduction. 9.6.2, you're going to learn about experiment to prevent rusting. Okay, so let us go to your textbook here. This one is in page 52, your textbook. Look at the notes here. Rusting of iron is a chemical process, satu proses kimia, that occurs when iron is exposed to oxygen and water. Jadi pengaratan ni adalah pengaratan besi lah, besi. Besi adalah logam utama yang diceritakan di sinilah. Okay? Rusting of iron adalah satu proses kimia apabila iron iaitu ferrum atau besi terdedah kepada oksigen dan juga air and undergoes a redox reaction. Jadi you need to understand that redox reaction tu mesti ada oxidation and reduction, right? So rusting pun redox. So we are going to learn more apa yang mengalami pengoksidan dan apa yang mengalami penurunan. Rusting of iron, the note here, rusting of iron is a metal corrosion that occurs to iron. When iron metal rusts, a layer of reddish-brown iron oxide is formed. Bila ferrum itu berkarat, ada satu lapisan perang kemerahan yang dikenali sebagai iron oxide. Ferrum oxide terbentuk on the iron surface, and that surface is easily cracked and permeable. What is crack? Crack pecah, permeable telap, dapat diresapi. Thus, rusting occurs continuously and damage the structure of the iron. So that's what happened in the picture here, a rusting shape. The process is continuous, berlaku berulang-ulang kali sampailah logam itu pecah, crack sepenuhnya. Apart from the rusting of iron, corrosion can also occur on other metals. Logam lain pun boleh. Okay, walaupun besi adalah yang lazimnya, but other metals also can. For example, on items made from silver and bronze. Items ataupun bahan-bahan yang dibentuk daripada silver and bronze is actually known as copper alloy. Okay, itu contohlah. What does metal corrosion mean? Apa maksud dia? Corrosion of metal is a redox reaction where the metal is oxidized spontaneously when the metal atom release electrons to form metal ions. Jadi itulah maksud kakisan logam. Kakisan logam adalah satu tindak balas redox di mana logam itu akan oxidize. Look at this here, class. This M is metal. Metal atom release electron. Release, anak panah here. Release electron. N is the number of electron. How many? Okay. To form metal ions. Jadi kalau kamu nampak pengaratan, you just need to remember lah that any logam that undergoes rusting is going to derma the electron to become an ion. Untuk menjadi ion dia. So contohnya lah. Contoh, if this one is Fe, it's going to derma electron to become 2+. This one will be 2. Contoh, magnesium boleh berkarat? Boleh. Magnesium is going to become Mg2+ and 2E-. Macam begitu. So in general, the more electropositive the metal is, the easier it is for the metal to corrode. For example, corrosion of iron, Fe, is faster than copper. Oleh sebab itu, you need to remember that this one also related to the rusting. Makin ke atas, makin reaktif, ataupun we can say it's becoming more and more electropositive. Yang di atas compared to di bawah. Okay, so look at the note here. In general, the more electropositive the metal is, the easier it is to corrode, untuk terkakis. Jadi bandinglah if Fe dengan Cu. Fe di atas, right? Cu di bawah. So Fe, ferrum, iron in English, is going to corrode faster compared to Cu. Okay? Atas lebih electropositive daripada di bawah. Itu maksud dia. Okay, so let me explain to you iron rusting. Okay, because in your syllabus yang ditekankan, emphasize is the iron. 不是 copper, 不是 Ag, 不是 Mg, no. It's the iron, Fe, okay? Fe. Look at the notes over here. Rusting of iron occurs when with the presence of water and oxygen. Jadi ingat, there are two condition, ada dua syarat. Mesti ada air, mesti ada oksigen. Barulah ada rusting of the iron. Rusting of iron is a redox reaction where oxygen acts as oxidizing agent while iron is the reducing agent. Look at the half equation here, class. The main character, watak-watak utama dia adalah the iron, logam. Look at this picture over here, mechanism of rusting. Yang warna silver yang ini ni sebenarnya adalah besi, grey, not silver. The grey color here, this is the ferrum lah, this is the iron. Inilah besi yang berkarat. Kenapa ada lubang? Sebab ada karat. Yang warna kelabu, yang warna brown ini apa? This is the karat, this is the rust. So we are going to explain rusting based on this picture. Okay, now remember the grey color one, this one is the iron. Iron, and then ada oxygen yang akan masuk. Oxygen tu kan syarat dia. And water also dia punya condition. So there are two conditions for rusting. One, you must have water, and two, you must have oxygen. Apa dia punya main character? Ferrum, oxygen, water. Okay, let us look at the note here. Based on figure 1.41, when iron comes into contact with water, bila ferrum bersentuhan, contact means bersentuhan, with water and is exposed to oxygen. Tengok this ferrum, look at this besi, bersentuhan dengan water and exposed to oxygen, a simple chemical cell is formed. Point 1. The surface of the iron in the middle of the water droplet, where the concentration of oxygen is low, serves as anode. Okay, the surface of iron in the middle of the water droplet. Tengok ini water droplet, ada tengah-tengah kan? So, yang di tengah-tengah ni, ini, it serves as the anode. Apa yang berlaku? Iron atom loses electrons and undergo oxidation. Like I told you just now, sebarang logam yang mengalami pengaratan mesti akan derma the electron. So same goes to this one. The anode is the ferrum. Remember, the whole thing here is a simple chemical cell. When we come to chemical cell, it must have anode and also cathode. So apa anode? Anode is the besi, ferrum. So what happened in anode is the ferrum itself is going to derma electron to become Fe2+. Ferrum 2+, iron 2+. Okay? So itu adalah anode. This is the half equation. Ingat, any logam pun, it is going to derma, donate electron to become ion. So what happened? Where the electron flow? Electron flows through the iron to the end of the water droplets. Look at this electron here. Daripada tengah-tengah sini, it's going to flow to the edge, ke tepi. Okay, where the concentration of oxygen is higher. Sini. The iron at that part become the cathode, where reduction occur. So, apa maksud dia di sana? Sini kan ada oxygen. Oksigen dan sini ada air. So this part di sini ni, the third one, look at the picture here. This is the positive terminal. Remember, yang tengah-tengah ni adalah anode, yang di sini di tepi where the oxygen concentration is higher, itulah cathode dia. So what happened in cathode? Cathode dissolve in water. Cathode dissolve in water, accept electron and undergoes reduction to form hydroxide ion. I think you are familiar with this half equation already. Kalau dulu, we already learned about OOH. Ada O, ada oxygen. Ada H, ada H2O. Don't forget the electron. Itu bang. Okay, we have learned about this in previous subtopic. So, cathode adalah kawasan di sini dekat dengan hujung water droplets. Okay, dan di sini the oxygen concentration is high. It is in contact with the water, and the electron is coming from where? Coming from the anode. Two electron flowing here. So it will become a what? Hydroxide ion. So remember the half equation. Ada oksigen, ada air, dan ada elektron. Itulah syarat dia to become hydroxide. So what happened after this? Look at the hasil over here. Look at the product. We have Fe2 plus and we have OH minus. Kan? So we are going to combine these two. The iron 2 plus, Fe2 plus here, reacts with hydroxide ion to form iron 2 hydroxide. So this is what happened. I hope you still remember this one, Fe 2 plus and OH minus. When they react, it's going to become like this. Okay? Iron 2 plus is green. This one is green color. But rust is brown. Kan? Karat tu kan warna perang. Because kenapa begitu? Iron 2 hydroxide, this one, FeOH2, undergoes continuous oxidation with oxygen. Maksudnya, this product here is going to be continuously oxidized, bertindak balas dengan oksigen berulang-ulang kali, to form hydrated iron 3 oxide, a rust. X is an integer that has various value. We don't know how many times. Too many times. Sangat banyak kali. Jadi ingatlah, Fe2 plus is green, right? Karat is brown. How come the karat becomes brown? Because of this reacting with oxygen. Balik-balik. Oxidize again and again and again to become iron 3 oxide. Okay, iron 3 oxide. Fe2O3 titik XH2O. This is rust. So iron 3 oxide Fe2O3 or rust is brittle, rapuh, permeable, telap, and does not stick strongly. Thus, water and oxygen can permeate, boleh meresapi. Water and oxygen boleh resap into the iron metal underneath. Iron will continuously rust. Iron, ferrum, besi ni, asal ada oksigen, asal ada air, berkarat lah tu. Rusting of iron occurs faster in the presence of acid or salt because when these substances dissolve in water, the solution become a better electrolyte. You remember electrolyte? Kita sudah belajar before this kan? The solution. Kalau ada acid, kalau ada salt, lagi cepat pengaratan. Electrolytes increase the electrical conductivity of water. Iron in steel form is widely used in building materials. For example, it is used in manufacturing of vehicles, kan, untuk buat kereta, building construction materials like bridge, railway tracks, jambatan, landasan kereta api. However, rusting would cause the structure of iron to become weaker. Okay, sebab tidak dapatlah terlepas daripada hujan dan juga oksigen. Macam mana kan? Okay, so every year, apa lagi point? A huge financial provision is required to overcome the problem of rusting of iron. So what steps should be taken to prevent rusting of iron? Macam mana mau mengelakkan besi daripada berkarat? I am sure you have the answer in your mind right now. Kan? Okay, let us look at this info over here. A layer of aluminium oxide is hard and non-porous, protecting the aluminium underneath from corroding. Other metals with the same characteristic are zinc, lead, nickel, and chromium. Apa maksud dia di sini? Aluminium oxide bertindak sebagai layer atau lapisan pelindung, protecting the aluminium di bawah from corroding. So you might think of something like that. Macam mana mau elakkan besi daripada berkarat? Okay, we will go to the next lesson. Before we go to ways to prevent rusting, okay, cara-cara untuk mengelakkan pengaratan, let us learn about this point over here in page 55. Okay, after you learn about the notes here, you will be able to conduct the experiment easier. Okay, remember this experiment, you need to do it after the school open. Okay, let us understand this one first. We were talking about iron tadi kan? We were talking about ferrum. Ferrum berkarat. Besi berkarat. Then, and the picture looks like this. This is the besi. This is the water droplets. And then this are the oxygen concentration very high here. This one concentration very low here, oxygen. So the electron will go up here. And then the ferrum is going to donate electron to become Fe2+. And then the oxygen is going to mix with the water and receiving electron to become OH-. And this OH- is going to combine with the Fe2+ to become Rus. Belum cukup lagi, they are going to be oxidized again and again to become Fe2O3. Okay. So, itu adalah pengaratan, cerita pengaratan. So, let us look at the point here. I mentioned about electropositive just now, right? Okay, when iron comes into contact with a more electropositive metal, maksudnya metal yang berada di atas ba? Apa yang di atas? Okay, let us go to the reactivity series, this one. Now, contohnya lah, this is iron, right? When it comes into contact with zinc, okay, contoh macam begini. In this experiment over here, cuba tengok. Okay, you are going to actually the experiment is a little bit different. The previous experiment we use macam begini, nail. Okay, contohnya inilah. I will draw it here for you. This one is the nail. The nail is made from ferrum. Okay, iron. So when ferrum is coming into contact, didekatkan dengan contohnya ini adalah zinc. Okay, what will happen? Is the ferrum going to corrode? Adakah dia akan rusting? Dia akan mengalami pengaratan apabila didekatkan dengan zinc. Ataupun contoh lain adalah if the ferrum is coming into contact with Cu. Besi, paku besi is ferrum, the iron, right? And then the coiling metal here adalah Cu. Remember, Cu di bawah Fe, Zn di atas Fe. So, which is going to corrode dulu? Okay, that's the point over here that you're going to understand. Cuba kamu tengok. This is the picture. Okay, this is the picture. This is iron nail. And then ada metal yang akan kena lilitkan, coil into the iron nail. So, is the iron nail going to corrode or not? Okay, mari kita tengok. When iron comes into contact with a more electropositive metal such as zinc, I lukis here. This is your iron nail, and then kamu ada zinc. The pink color, this one is the zinc. Okay? Rusting of iron slows down. Oh, maksudnya this nail is going to rust, tapi slow down. Zinc atom, what happened? Zinc atom release electron more easily than iron. Zinc corrodes and undergo oxidation. Maksudnya di sana, the zinc is going to corrode first. Because kenapa? Because dia di atas. Remember our electrochemical series on page 17? Okay, you look at that, the electrochemical series on page 17. This is your electrochemical series. This one is in page 17, your textbook. Okay, so look at this class. Our main character just now was the iron. Here it is, the iron. Okay, and then when it is in contact with zinc, the zinc is going to corrode first. Kenapa? Because lebih electropositive. Okay, it is more electropositive di atas. And when you have iron nail come into contact with copper, contohnya. So the ferrum, the iron is going to corrode first. Because iron di atas Cu. So you remember, when you have two types of metal, okay, atas bawah, tengok saja which one is more electropositive. So the Zn is going to derma the electron. Now, bukannya Fe. Bukannya Fe. Though you have two types of metal there, but the Zn is going to release electron dulu. Because Zn di atas. So the released electrons flow through iron to the metal surface where there is water and oxygen. Always remember, in rusting, the reduction part must be the water and oxygen. Mesti. Okay, mesti water and oxygen. So what happened? Oxygen, water, and electrons are going to combine to form metal hydroxide. Hydroxide. Okay, so it's going to form zinc hydroxide lah nanti. Begitu. So when iron comes into contact with less electropositive metals such as lead, Pb, the rusting of iron becomes faster because Pb di bawah and then Fe di atas. So which is going to derma the electron first? Fe. So that's why the oxidation will be the Fe, bukannya Pb. So what is the reduction part? Remember, kalau in rusting, reduction is always oxygen, water, electron. Okay. So let us look at this one. Effects of other metals on rusting of iron are as follows. This is ferrum, iron, in the middle of it. Rusting of iron slows down. Fe selamat lah. When Fe is combining, is going to be combined dengan logam-logam di sebelah atas, such as magnesium, aluminium, and zinc. When it comes to contact with ferrum, so ferrum selamat. Because it is going to rust, but the rusting is going to be slowed down because the friends are going to sacrifice themselves dulu. But when iron is coming to contact with stannum ka, plumbum ka, copper ka, it is going to speed up. The rusting of iron speeds up. Sebab dia sendiri dulu yang terkakis. Kawan-kawan dia nanti. Okay? So, look at the arrow over here. Higher tendency to release electron. More electropositive, the faster the metal is going to corrode. Okay. So, let us go to this one, subtopic, ways to prevent rusting. Macam mana lah mau prevent rusting? This one is in page 56, your textbook. A. We use a protective surface. Satu permukaan yang bersifat pelindung. Permukaan yang melindungi. This method prevents iron from coming into contact with water and oxygen. Sebab ada surface yang melindungi. Apa contoh dia? Paint, cat, grease, and plastic wrappings. Paint for fences, cars, and bridge. Kan? We paint our cars sebab kita mau prevent rusting. We paint our fences. Fences maksudnya kita punya fences. Kita punya yang di luar rumah tu. Okay, what do we call that? Pagar-pagar. Okay. And bridge, jambatan. Oil and grease on car engine. Plastic coatings on wire fences. Ni, fence wire. Wrap with plastic. Supaya tidak berkarat kan hujan. Okay. Using other metals. Okay. Apa lagi other metals as the protective surface? Galvanization. Iron or steel is galvanized with a thin layer of zinc. If you heard galvanization, maksudnya it uses zinc. Zinc. Mesti zinc kalau galvanization. Now, zinc forms a protective layer of zinc oxide that is hard, strong, non-porous and protects the iron. You remember the picture just now? So, galvanization maksudnya di bawah ni adalah dia punya ferrum. And di atas ni adalah the zinc oxide. Begitu. That is galvanization. And then, next, how to use other metals? Tin plating. Stannum is tin kan? Steel plates are plated with an extremely thin layer of tin. Di atas logam, plat logam, steel, besi, ada extremely thin layer of tin. Okay, tin forms a layer of oxide protection. Sama juga like just now, you have a layer of protection di atas. Okay, di atas. Chrome plating. Chrome cantik. Used on car bumpers, bicycle, decorative item and others. Chrome. Chrome memang cantik, berkilat-kilat. Okay. So, let us look at this one. Food cans plated with tin. Galvanized iron roof. If you see galvanized, ingat, galvanized is about having zinc as protective layer di atas. Ada zinc di atas iron roof. Okay, look at this mind challenge. Ali would not buy dented canned food. Explain why. Kenapa tidak mau beli makanan yang sudah tin dia yang sudah kemek? Dented means yang sudah kemek. Sekarang kamu boleh relate sudah kan? You can relate already. Why when you see dented food tin macam begini, you don't buy it? Tak boleh. Okay? You have the answer already in your mind. It's all because of the rusting process. Okay. Sacrificial protection. Itu adalah cara kedua. Kita protect, tapi kita guna sesuatu yang bersifat mengorbankan. Iron is attached to a more electropositive metal such as magnesium and zinc. Kan? Magnesium and zinc kan di atas iron. Look at the electrochemical series here. This is magnesium. This is zinc. Mereka di atas iron. So, kita korbankan mereka. When iron is attached to a more electropositive metal, the more electropositive metal corrodes. Akan terkakis zinc dengan magnesium. And rusting can be prevented. The more electropositive metal becomes a sacrificial metal. Logam korban. Okay, mengorbankan diri. This sacrificial metal must be replaced from time to time. Perlu ganti-ganti lah. Sacrificial protection is used for corrosion protection, di mana bridge pillars, ship hulls, and underground pipes. Ini contoh dia. Zinc plates on ship hulls. This one, magnesium is as sacrificial metal in iron pipe. And also steel pillars. Kalau tidak, robo nanti yang ini. The pillars of an oil rig are connected to a magnesium block. Okay, itu kedua. Ketiga, C. Alloying. Alloying. In stainless steel, iron is alloyed with carbon, chromium, and nickel. Chromium and nickel create a shiny, protective, and corrosion-proof oxide layer. I hope you still remember what is alloy. You will learn about this when you were in Form 4, Chapter 8. Alloy adalah bahan. Combination of a few bahan. Kan, I asked you to hafal. Do you still remember? Do you still remember this one? Fenir kakro, dur alu, kumakman. You still remember all these alloy? I asked you to hafal this one because all these will let you know what is inside that alloy. Contohnya duralumin. In duralumin, duralu ku magman. In duralumin, you have aluminium, you have copper, you have magnesium, you have mangan. Kan, in duralumin. So, alloy itu sebenarnya adalah sifat protective. Okay? Protect what? Protect the iron. So look at this. Contohnya di sini in stainless steel. Iron is alloyed with carbon, chromium, and nickel. Kena kasih lapis, berlapis-lapis dengan carbon, chromium, and nickel. Chromium and nickel create a shiny, protective, and corrosion-proof. The oxide layer form protects the iron from being exposed to water and oxygen to prevent rusting. Stainless steel is widely used in surgical instrument, alat pembedahan, and also kitchen utensils. Dan juga alat-alat di dalam dapur. So, itu cara ketiga, alloying. So, there are 3 ways to prevent rusting. Use a protective surface, sacrificial protection, and alloying. Okay, so that's all that you're going to learn today. Please do self-assess 1.6 and you are done with chapter 1.